Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 10, episode 10. We finally got Scheana's wedding, and I teared up a little.
It,
I did.
the wedding was good. The episode was good.
There's not a bad episode in this season. There's
It's,
not. It's so good.
I think this season would have been good, but Sandoval definitely leveled up the game of
Yes.
intensely
It's
watching.
intense. Okay, we have a lot to get through, but before we get into it, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast, we have Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast, and we have One Season Wonders. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe. We got a new review. It
So fun.
it's 3 stars and it's
Not
titled
fun.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? That's okay.
It's from Sir 3J4N.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, there's a lot of talking about random stuff unrelated to the show, including long rants about their reviews on here. Probably why the one called them immature, because that was cringe. There's no inside info or much insight on this podcast. So it's not really for me, but it's not bad or anything. So give it a try if you like the show.
I mean,
Whatever.
that is true. We do not
We
have inside knowledge.
we are mature. We like to rant. And yeah, I'm not friends with any of these people. I have zero inside knowledge unless it's public.
Yeah,
The end.
I aggregate things that I choose to listen to.
This is an amateur podcast, so thank you so much.
100%.
But
Literally
thanks.
just the lunch table here.
Yeah. So sorry it's not for you, but
No
thanks for the
worries.
review, baby. Um, Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about whatever. If you hate our ranting, you would hate that. So do not
That's
listen.
that's what I think is funny about that review. I'm like, we literally made a pre-show to stop the random
To stop
talking.
the rant.
Because I hate when podcasts start and there's like a
Yes.
30-minute get together. It just isn't for me.
Yeah, agreed. But apparently we still do it. But
Yeah.
sorry, we can't help who we are. Um, Also, you get any episodes we record early, including this one. We are literally recording this right after the episode. It will be on the Patreon days
Immediate.
before.
Yeah, right
Days.
now.
For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after shows that we do when we go back and watch old seasons. So we can talk about Bravo news without any spoilers, which is not now because we will spoil and continue to spoil because it's all live, it's
Hell
all
yeah.
happening. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelly, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Courtney, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Kirsten, Ruby, Taylor, and Tiffany. Oh, I
Oh
did
my
it good that time.
gosh.
Thank you guys, but like give me some props for doing that
That was a
pretty
good
well.
one. Your
Woo.
best one yet.
I want to get to what I need to talk about. So
Do
let's
it.
let's keep going. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live seasons, you get to give us your thoughts, opinions, questions, concerns, literally
Mhm.
anything you want. We will read them on the podcast. And if you do not post them right after the episode, there's a chance we're gonna not be able to talk about them this episode, but we'll talk about them next episode. So don't you worry. Also, we'll pick a patron of the episode, and this week's patron of the episode, you know who I'm gonna pick? Do you want to know?
Who?
Do you want to know? Do you want to know? It's gonna
Yeah.
be Dustin because I didn't think Dustin really watched Vanderpump Rules, but he left us some notes.
On this episode?
Well, last episode, but
Oh,
I
totally
also
fine.
feel bad that like, remember when my alarm went off?
Yeah.
He was like, that scared the shit out of me. So like, sorry, Dustin.
Oh, so sorry
That
about
was my
that.
bad.
That was stressful
I'm
for me
not
as
that
well.
I'm not that sorry, but like kind of sorry that stressed you out.
I'm sorry for
Um,
what it did to you.
Okay, with that, we do have a comment, or we do have some comments for podcast by the people, but we have
Hmm.
one comment I want to hit in particular. Hang on. Okay, first let's get to Dustin. So he says that Sheena, Brock, and their babies seem like a really cute family. I hope they make it and I hope they stay happy.
I
And
do
me too. And there's
too.
a rumor going around. It has not been, I didn't post about it because there's no source behind this. This was literally an unreliable DM that someone got and then posted it saying that Raquel and Brock were also hooking up, which like Raquel's not that busy.
Yeah, you told me I think that they like the rumor was that they kissed at one point, and I was like, I didn't hear this rumor, and I'm kind of happy it's not circulating widely since it's not vetted.
People are talking about it, but I want to make it clear, like there's, as far as I have seen, no liable evidence. It's just like, oh, they were hanging out. Oh, he would sneak out and they would like drive around, or like when Raquel was living with them,
so unlikely.
they like hooked up. One
Because
time they
most of
got
the cast
pizza.
didn't even want to film with him. So wouldn't you think that Raquel, if she really liked him and this was happening, would want to film with him? Like would want him on the show?
No, I think she try to keep it secretive. I don't know. It's just I'm not gonna believe this until there's some proof, because this is genuinely like could ruin a family.
Yeah.
Like when I believed in the Paige and Craig stuff, like there's supposedly a rumor going around, and we'll talk about this on Summer House, that Craig was touching and kissing on some other girl that wasn't Paige, which like that's wild, but also not proven, and that could ruin a relationship. But when I found out they were dating, I was totally like,
oh yeah, there were like
that's the thing,
blurry photos.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, when Paige and Craig were getting together.
I can't get behind this.
No.
Also, Dustin says neither Katie or Schwartz are able to be friends. Neither one of them had the capacity to see each other as such. The dinner was proof positive to me of this. They just need to detach and be cool when they see each other at social events, or scorched earth and never speak again. But either way, I don't think there's a middle ground. We clearly saw that tonight. There is zero middle ground.
I think there is a 0.05% of this earthly population that could be friends like that after a divorce.
Oh, literally no one. Okay, so now thoughts. We have stuff to get into. So Tracy left us a comment before the episode and said, I just want to mention Sandoval's podcast interview. And I want to mention this too, because I listened. Okay.
You like watched the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I
only watched
Sandoval Howie Mandel episode. It was the most painful thing I've ever watched. I want to start out with the actual podcast fucking sucks. Howie Mandel should not have this podcast.
Well, he didn't know anything about Vanderpump.
He did not even know who Scheana was. His daughter was trying to ask questions, and they weren't bad questions. Howie's daughter is a big Sandoval fan, or not Sandoval, sorry, like big Vanderpump fan. So she was trying to be like, so was Schwartz trying to cover it up? Like, what was happening? Really trying, but Howie kept cutting it off and being like, it doesn't sound so bad. You're not married. Like, who cares?
Yeah, so he didn't understand the gravity of the situation.
That sucked. Also, Sandoval's drummer is like the husband of a producer on the show.
That makes so much more sense how this got set up. He apparently blindsided Bravo. They didn't know this was happening.
Yes, Andy's very annoyed. But also, Andy said that this was not a good look for either of them, and it's not. This was the single most painful thing I've ever watched regarding Scandal, and like I'm in the Scandal drama. But okay, so I do want to mention a few things that Tracy also hits on this podcast. So he took no accountability. He was basically like, Ariana's mental health was deteriorating, and like, what was I supposed to do if I wasn't getting laid? No.
I was talking to my sister about this, and like, if you want to get out of this relationship and her mental health is in a terrible spot, that is a really tricky like situation, and I understand that. But then why aren't you getting, if that's true, why aren't you getting her friend involved to basically like take over what your responsibility would be as her partner? Also,
so he went in this whole thing, right? He's like, it was guys' night. He confirms like that guys' night weekend. He gives Raquel a ride home, and why, remember when we were like, why were they just sitting in the car hooking up? He was supposedly laughed out of his house. So what else to do besides hook up with Raquel, right? Like fucking logic, everyone. So
you will never find me hooking up outside of my own house.
That happened. So that's how it like started, and he felt guilty, but Raquel was so magnetic, he like couldn't not hook up with her again. And then there was this whole thing about how him and Ariana went to therapy together. And he like was gonna break up with her in therapy, but then Ariana started like, what his biggest thing was, Ariana was never like checking on him and would always like start a fight with
like
him.
Attentive. So
now Sandoval was like, because they went to therapy and he voiced this, he would then say something, and instead of her reacting, he said she like would
got better.
got better. And literally
did what he wanted.
Howie Mandel's daughter is literally like, so she grew in therapy. Like, duh. And he's like, yeah, but I was already out of love by then. I was just waiting to break up with her in therapy. Then he said he once tried to break up with Ariana, but she said that that she punched him and said, you're gonna have to force me out of this relationship.
I can't see it.
Horrible. What?
Cannot see
punched you and like you were like, I guess I got to stay with her until I could break up with her in therapy.
This storyline, because we've already seen it before with Kristen. They're like, I tried to break up with you a few times, yada yada yada. Like, it made more sense with Kristen because she was very spazzy.
She showed up in the green dress after they had broken up to try and win it. Like, we all saw it.
Like, we believed the storyline because, to be honest, Kristen gave us stuff to believe it. But like, Ariana punching him in the face, and you're gonna have to force me out of this relationship? No.
I literally was
that girlie has self-worth.
What? It was wild. Okay, then I want to talk about this other podcast really quick. This is the podcast I will recommend to everyone. Kristen Doty is actually such a great podcaster. I really like her.
Interesting.
I'm 10
is this
out of
the
10.
One with
Peter?
Yes.
So I'm fascinated by this because I think Peter hates Kristen, or at least get on the show.
Well, a lot of people are saying like this is kind of crazy. He's on her podcast.
They're friends now, but he also called Kristen a detriment to their establishment. So like, I'm very invested.
Yeah.
So interesting things. I took notes. Kristen actually trained Peter at SUR. Whoa. And they worked there when it was actually an Argentinian cafe that Guillermo owned.
Oh.
And they didn't even have a liquor license. So I think Lisa came in later. And then
whoa. So, that makes more sense, the dynamic between Kristen and Lisa.
Yes.
Like, Kristen wasn't in there from the beginning with Lisa, so she didn't have this like, oh, you're one of my children.
Yeah. Kristen just knew the ropes. So they and Peter started as a busser and worked his way up. Yeah.
Peter.
This was way before Vanderpump Rules, right? Like they're doing a ton of shit. Okay. Also, Peter's currently single, just for everyone who wants to know. I do want to
Alicia's saying that for herself.
For me. After listening to this, I honestly fell in love with him more. Like, he is such a good person though. Like, even Kristen was like, you are one of the best guys on the show, and that's why you don't get screen time.
Oh,
like, that's so good.
That's a really good point.
There's a lot to unpack, but so the Jax workout app I want to click on. Remember Peter and his brother directed this app.
Yeah.
When Jax and
I can't believe they talked about this. They really went back to the beginning.
Yeah. Apparently Jax couldn't remember his lines, and Peter's basically like, fuck this. And that's why the workout app is so awkward, and it's just Jax doing jumping jacks and shit because he couldn't remember anything.
Well, wasn't Jax a actor back in the day?
He couldn't remember his lines. I also found out Diana still works at SUR. That is Peter's work wife. They get along great.
Oh, fine.
Kristen and Diana are actually friends, even though she told her to suck a dick. Okay. Peter's been in love 3 times.
Okay. Alicia's gonna be his fourth.
He did. Oh, I wish he did. Fuck, marry, kill with Raquel, Stassi, and Katie. So he said he'd marry Katie, fuck Stassi, kill Raquel. Or he said Rachel. Sense. Okay. So Peter's really upset that he was called a starter pony on Watch What Happens Live by Raquel. Kristen doesn't really watch anymore, but she started watching everything when Scandival broke.
Yeah.
So Peter says him and Raquel went on dates multiple times, but he wants to clear something up. He's never, it seems like Peter's dated his employees because he's always been a manager, and he dated Katie and Stassi and now Raquel.
Yeah.
But he didn't date Katie or Stassi when he was a manager. This was before he was promoted. He dated both of them. He says he has never dated anyone since he's become a manager. The Raquel thing, she quit. She quit the SUR.
Oh.
Peter asked her out. They went on multiple dates
before
the crying one. And then she came back to SUR for filming. So he then looks like he's this creepy manager that films, but Raquel was not working at SUR.
He specifically waited.
Yes, he did not ask her out while she was his employee.
Oh my god!
But she came back just for filming, so it was like a false.
So she's
employee
back,
thing.
She's back. Like, we are back to the sir. We're only working there when we're filming.
Yes. So they went on
stuff.
multiple dates before the crying one. He actually said that was cut super weird because he like wasn't that into Raquel then. Like it seems like he was super into her.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know why you're crying. Like we're not in love. Like it's cool. Also he feels like he was also part of the cover up for Coachella. Like he believes the affair started, like the emotional affair started at Coachella.
Yeah.
And that Sandoval and Raquel were like, we should make Peter a storyline because he thinks you're hot and like this could cover our tracks a little bit.
Gross.
Also, Sandoval has used the term starter pony, and Peter said he immediately knew that came from Sandoval, and Kristen said the same thing.
You do pick up each other's lingo.
Yeah. Also, Peter said that when you know how the cast gets the episodes before, so they watch. Yeah. Peter says that when Sandoval watched the first episode, he texted Peter and was like, Peter had not talked to him in months. Yeah. They are not friends.
Yeah, this is the part of like I saw on TikTok where it had been since August.
Yeah. So Sandoval reaches out and is like, did you fuck Raquel? And Peter's like, no, what are you talking about? And so Peter had a hunch that something weird was happening. Okay, what else? Brie, what else? Peter says he chooses kind of not to be in the show because he doesn't want to get involved with this shit.
Okay.
And he literally just is like disconnected. The moment filming is over, he like fucking forgets that this show is going to air.
Yeah.
So when Sandoval like reaches out to him, he was like, what the fuck? Like, I forgot this show even exists.
Yeah. I mean, because they, in the calendar year of being a manager of a restaurant, 3 months out of the year is not much.
But then Peter ended, and I thought this was really interesting. He says that if he knew, he would have told Ariana, because what kind of man would he be if he didn't support his friend like that? And that was a that was a straight shot at Schwartz.
Yes.
Straight shot.
But I think when you were way closer to one, I think it is smart if like Schwartz went to Tom and said, you tell her or I tell her, I'm going to give you 48 hours. Like, yeah. I think when you are that close to someone, you should give them the opportunity, but it should be a short time frame.
Great podcast.
If not, like you're like subscribing to their moral choices, like their choices are your choices, and you're agreeing to whatever terrible things they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, Peter did a great job on the podcast. Kristen honestly did a great job on the podcast. It was 10 out of 10. It was interesting because I thought he was a manager that dated his employees, but he's not. He's not that creepy.
I didn't think it was that weird with the Katie and Stassi, because when you're closer in age, it's a little different.
But I love him. I'm obsessed again. Okay. Let's get into the episode.
Let's do it.
So previously on Vanderpump Rules, Scheana and Brock, they're getting married in Mexico. Raquel let Katie know that she can't be around during the wedding. Lala's been hanging out with Katie more than Scheana thought she would, and Sheena's really hurt. Raquel really likes Schwartz, but says she would never date him. Raquel's been warned to not hook up with Schwartz, and so has Schwartz. He has been told not to hook up with Raquel, but they make out. And so, yeah, we pick up right then at the welcome dinner.
Party. Yeah.
Raquel and Tom had just finished making out. Everyone's cheering.
I would say this is more of a kiss at this point.
There was a little tongue, but okay, a little kiss. Raquel says that was nice, and Tom says that wasn't that bad. And Raquel's like, hey, let's go somewhere else. So they sit by the pool, and Schwartz leans in and they make out by the pool.
Yes.
So Raquel describes it as soft, sweet, and delicate.
This is gross.
Raquel's giddy and excited. Like, could this be something? It's not, because you just fucked his best friend a few hours ago.
I thought the same thing. Like, she's doing these interviews when she's in a full-fledged affair. I really don't let the Sandoval get involved in like the episode. But when they talk about the interviews, like the way she is selling these interviews.
She's a actor, baby. A low budget actor.
I was like, girly, stop saying, wow, you really thought something was going to come of this. You've already fucked his best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So Schwartz says this feels illegal to do, and she calls him a kissing bandit. And then Schwartz is never telling Katie, and Raquel's like, everyone already knows they saw us. So
yeah, it is kind of weird. You want to be like, We're
Also,
gonna hide this from Katie,
there's
even
a
though we
whole
just
camera.
did it in public.
There's a
I
whole
think
camera
about
in
that
your
all the time
face.
with reality TV. Why are we trying to hide shit?
I hate when people on just break the fourth wall. I hate when people on reality TV are like, no one can know about this. And I'm like, there's a full-fledged production company.
Yeah, the minute
watching
you
all
say
of
I don't want
this.
anyone to know about this, that's getting put in the episode.
Yes. So then we go to Lala's room. It's Lala, Katie, Christina, Kelly, James, and Allie. Scheana calls Lala and Sheena's upset. She's like, what happened to you tonight? But Sheena's actually kind of cool and calm about it.
Yeah.
She's like, what happened
I thought
to
she was
you?
gonna go in because I know we got that on the next time on.
I like how Scheana says like we will discuss this later.
Yeah.
But Scheana asks if they saw Schwartz and Raquel make out because she heard about it but didn't see it. And Lala's pissed and she's like, Scheana, you gotta find out what happens. And Sheena's like, on it.
Here's the thing. You know Scheana called knowing Lala was with Katie.
Yeah, of course. That's why she's like, we're not going to talk about why I'm
Yeah, I actually want to talk about what I wanted to talk about.
So immediately James is seething.
Oh my God.
And Katie is so crushed. Like crushed. So Katie says the people that were cheering don't care about her.
I agree.
And then I agree. Scheana calls back with Brock. And Brock's like, yeah, we all saw them kiss. And Lala's like, why were people cheering? And Brock's like, people were cheering because they want to see Schwartz happy. And Lala's like, fuck that. Like, I'm so mad. And then Sheena's like, yeah, I'm bummed you didn't come tonight, but like,
oh God,
bye. And so they hang up.
Scheana girly.
I love Scheana. She's hurt. I get why she's hurt. I would also
totally
be
understand
sad.
why she is hurt about Lala not showing up. That's effed up on Lala's part.
She just keeps mentioning
is so dirty with the drama.
It's
and
funny.
She just won't admit it.
I'm here. You know what? One day Sheena's gonna have a redemption like Lindsay in your eyes, and you're gonna be like, big Scheana fan.
If she can own her shit, I'm on board with her. I'm not mad she's doing it. I just need her to like stop acting like we don't know what she's doing.
She's not owning it. She's just not commenting. She's
okay. That's like saying like, oh, I didn't lie to you. I just didn't tell you.
That's exactly what she's doing.
No. Zero respect for it.
I love it. So we go back to the welcome dinner. Schwartz and Lala fucking hell. Schwartz and Raquel walk out like it's normal. They act normal. Then we cut back to Lala's room. Katie's leaving. She's so sad. She's full of so much hate. Fuck Raquel, and Tom owes her more than this. She's basically like, I don't give a fuck about Raquel, but like, are you fucking serious that Tom did this to me?
And she should. Like,
she should. Raquel is a snake. So
yes,
whatever.
Raquel has shown her true colors that she doesn't care about what Katie has to say and doesn't want the friendship. So like that ship has sailed. Yeah. Tom has told her many of times this would never happen. And they're quote unquote trying to be friends, whether we agree with it or not.
Yeah. So James knew that Schwartz had the hots for Raquel ahead of time. And Lala says Raquel's a hoe, a cheap, broke down hoe. And James is so gross and he starts describing how they're gonna bump peepees tonight. And Allie's like, I'm
out of here. She's like, you guys are so gross. Get me out of here.
Yeah, so we go back to the welcome party, and for someone who didn't want Katie to know, Schwartz immediately tells some rando that he made out with Raquel.
I thought the same thing.
Like, I didn't even know who this person was.
I know. It's like, this isn't a tight-lipped secret if you're going to start telling people.
No. So then we go back to Scheana and Brock's room. It's the after party. We're getting drunk. We got galaxy lights. This is the scene.
The lights are getting a moment on this season, I will say.
Stupid. So Sandoval, this is where he's yelling Raquel's name, right? Raquel. And Ariana's like, stop yelling Raquel. What's your fucking issue? And while people thought that this was him hitting on her, it was actually him being like, Raquel made out with Schwartz. And Ariana is shook. And Sheena's like not that shook because she knew, but Ariana is shook. And Raquel
Ariana has this face of like, fuck. Like,
well, she's more like, we've made it so far. And they had to fuck it up by doing this.
Yeah. Like, she's like, there are so many people at this resort. This is a bomb that just went off.
Plus, she has to continue playing the middle. Katie is her business partner. Schwartz is her boyfriend's best friend. Raquel's her friend. Like, she's like, fuck me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Raquel says it was just a moment, but people cheered. Sandoval is literally beaming for Raquel, and it's so gross because he was just inside her like hours before.
Ew, stop it.
I'm
Stop. We
gonna
don't know
get a
that for
bad
sure. We
review for
definitely
that
know it
one.
had to have happened the next day.
Okay, so Schwartz went back to his room, passed out. I want to talk about how this man's a serial killer because he sleeps with his feet over the bed, not covered by the blanket.
Okay, the camera was in there though. Like homeboy was probably awake.
Horrible. Put your feet under the blanket and not over the bed. The monsters are gonna
I
get
agree.
you.
I actually am really still to this
Yeah, are
day.
you fucking kidding
I'm in
me?
my late 20s and I'm so scared somebody's not a monster, a human being is going to grab my foot at the end of the bed.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
absolutely
to bed
not.
thinking about this
That's my
tonight.
net. I am too. Great. So then Sandoval gives Raquel Schwartz his room key, and everyone's like, what a stupid ass joke.
I think Sandoval is trying so hard to play this as a joke, but it does eat him inside at this moment.
It's fucking awful. And then the girls are like, can we go have fun now? And it does look like Sandoval grabs Raquel's ass.
Oh, I did
Did you
not
not
see
see it?
that.
Oh, good,
No.
because this the scene got leaked. I did see it before, and I kind of noticed it the first time I watched, and then I found a bunch of TikToks that thought the same thing. So
I don't
basically,
think he would be that brazen. I'm going to be
well,
honest.
Ariana and Scheana all turn, and so does Raquel. So they're all and Sandoval. So they're all facing the same way. And Sandoval's right behind Raquel, and you can see his hand go from like behind him to behind Raquel, and then back to like his side. So I don't know if
Whoa.
he actually like hit the like there's no way no one else would have seen it. I don't
Yeah.
know if he
No,
actually
I'm just
touched
thinking with
it.
the cameras. I feel like he cares so much about his reputation. He would,
Dude, I don't know. The hand looks like it. This is one of those conspiracy theories that I
yeah.
will go into. I think so.
Interesting. No, I did not see it. I'll have to look it up on TikTok.
So then we go to Katie and Christina Kelly's room. Katie's upset. Oh, Lala's here too. So Katie's
Hmm.
upset. She texted Schwartz that she hates him and she's never going to talk to him again.
I
And
would have
Lala,
fucking blocked his number too.
yeah, fucking for sure. And then Lala is upset about what Brock said about being like happy for Schwartz. Christina Kelly says there's a million other girls. Why pick Raquel to hook up with? And Katie's just like, it's been 12 years. Literally hook up with someone who's not in front of me and not my friend.
That's
Hope
the
it's
thing
worth
is
it.
people are making it out like Katie doesn't want him to move on. And that's not the case. We've talked about this all season long. Like that's not Katie's stance on this. Like she says it so clearly in this interview. I'm good with him going on dates. He can have sex but this is really mean. This is in front of my face. Like you're doing this purposely to hurt me. And
Yeah.
Schwartz did do that to hurt her.
Yeah. And we've seen Katie not date within the friend group. She's not flirting with anyone within the friend group.
Yeah.
She is dating. And I think she's not putting up a double standard. Like Schwartz can do that as long as it's
Yeah.
not, she doesn't have to see
This
this person,
she has one thing that's off limits.
the friend group.
Everything else is free for him to go after, and he won't do it. He will only do what she doesn't want.
Yeah. So it's the next day in Mexico. We're up. Katie wants breakfast. Schwartz is reading all his texts. Allie and James are in the lazy river. Then we go to the spa where Scheana, Raquel, and her sister Courtney are. Ariana comes later. The spa is basically in a cave. They talk about how last night was crazy and it wasn't even the wedding yet. Can you believe? There's
Oh
like
my
12
God.
weddings. Um, Sheena's really sad Lala didn't come because this was like the biggest event of the trip and she didn't come say hi.
I will say this did look like the most fun. The like welcome
This looked
party.
lit. Also, here's my thing. Here's my thing on this, right? I understand Lala's boundaries are up. Her social battery is drained. She doesn't want to deal with Raquel. I get that, right? But she did tell Scheana, I'm not going to come to your small bridesmaid stuff, but I will come to the big shit.
Yeah.
Right. And she didn't tell Scheana, hey, I can't make it to your white party. She
I
just
don't-
didn't go.
You should always make an appearance.
She just didn't go. She didn't even let Scheana know.
Yeah, especially when she was having dinner so close. She could have easily
Right
gotten
there.
up, walked over. Like later this night, they like leave the you know, what's
Facility,
it called?
yeah.
So like, yeah, where it's kind of difficult to make everything happen, but like you should have made an appearance. You literally dressed for the event.
Yeah, it just like I understand why Sheena's a little sad because Lala's already probably backed out of a lot of bridesmaid stuff.
Okay, Lala's not a bridesmaid. I realized that.
No, she's not, because her face is now
On
being edited
Raquel's,
onto Raquel's
yeah, which I
body.
think is so funny. I thought Lala, going into this, I thought Lala was a bridesmaid. So I
I don't
definitely held
know
her
what
to an
I
even
thought.
higher standard. So now that she's not a bridesmaid, I don't think she's required to do everything. But once you tell Scheana you're going to do certain stuff, you got to do it.
Yeah, and it does look like, oh, I'll just hang out with Katie instead. And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
ah, that
This is
hurts me.
exactly what I didn't want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so then we talk about the Schwartz and Raquel makeout. Sheena's sisters basically like, who would have thought Schwartz and Raquel? And then Raquel's like, I'm thinking about walking down the aisles with Schwartz instead.
I was
And
like, what?
Sheena's basically like, do whatever. So then Raquel FaceTime Schwartz
Oh my
and is like,
God.
want to walk down with me? And Schwartz says yes. And Ariana the whole time is like, what the fuck is happening?
This is what I don't like, is it's just giant FUs. Like, this isn't necessary. You're not actually interested in doing this. Like, why do you have to change how a whole wedding is set up just to fan the flames of your makeout?
Yeah, like why are you turning to the bride being like, because I'm like a fourth tier bridesmaid, can I get who I want to walk with?
Yeah. You know
No,
what, I think
fuck
last
you.
episode we talked about, like, or maybe it was on Summer House, like, when it is good to be selfish. Like, that isn't bad, but when it is intentionally gonna hurt someone, that's where it's really shitty.
Yeah,
And
fuck you.
every decision around this, I'm like, you are being intentionally selfish just so it hurts Katie.
Yeah, you're being shitty.
Yeah.
So then we go to the pool where James and Allie are, and then Schwartz shows up and he's like, hey, can I hang out with you guys? Because no one will hang out with me. And so Schwartz is
God.
like, sure, sit down. Did you make out with Raquel? And Schwartz immediately goes, no. And
Oh, like,
James is
dude.
like, what? And he's like, ah, never mind, I did it. Sir, right away, you're just gonna, no, I didn't. Fuck you, we
Listen,
know.
I
We
am really
know.
bad at good, or like, just giving out a white lie. I actually got caught in one today, but it was dumb. I just didn't tell the person what my real plans were. But like, dude, again, everybody saw the kiss and you're filming a fucking show. These are not the moments for little white lies for no reason.
Also, if James had said something like have fun last night, you could have gotten
Yeah.
away with it. But he straight up says, you make out with Raquel.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody
Okay.
hits you with the truth, like confirming it, there's no way out of it.
Yeah. So Schwartz is basically like, it doesn't mean anything. Katie forbade it. It was like hooking up with forbidden fruit or whatever he said, sticking it to the man.
Oh, yes, that phrase. I just wanted to stick it to the man. That's why you
Fuck
kiss someone.
you.
If somebody kissed me, if a boy kissed me and said, I just wanted to stick it to my ex-girlfriend, my ex-wife, I'd be
Yeah.
like, I feel so used.
I was
No.
like, fuck Raquel, but also like, how do I feel bad that this comment was made?
I
Like, this is such
in
a
this
rude
moment
comment.
about Schwartz's intentions. If I didn't know anything about Scandal, I would be like, that's super shitty. Like, I could see that maybe Raquel was interested, but because there's the cloudiness of Scandal, I'm not sure.
Take Scandal out. This is a shitty ass
This is so
comment towards
shitty.
Raquel.
You don't
It's
ever do this to
shitty.
anyone, no matter
Yeah,
who it
yeah,
is. Girls can't say this about guys. Guys can't say this about girls. This is
This is
really shitty.
horrible. So Schwartz says he's a sad sack of human shit. So he made out with Raquel to help. Katie's pissed. He compares his life to the princess and the toad, and he thought the kiss would snap him out of it, and it kind of did.
I think a kiss could have snapped him out of it. Why did it have to be this kiss?
It didn't have to be Raquel. I love that James is like, so you're dead to Katie. And I agree. And I agree.
Yeah.
And Schwartz is like, oh, come on, man, and puts his hand on James's knee. And I like James. He like flicks his knee and he's like, don't put your hand on my knee.
Well, he didn't say anything. He just moved his knee. Schwartz was like, oh, don't do that. And
Don't
James
do
was
that,
like,
man.
no,
Don't put your hand.
Don't put your hand on my knee.
Don't put your hand
We're
on my
not
knee.
cool talking about this topic, but we're not cool in general right now.
Yeah, like you just made out with my ex-fiance. I'm obviously not, also within the friend group. Like, it's just not cool. It's uncomfortable. You're gonna pretend we're besties. Also, wait, I confront you about it. You immediately deny it, even though I know. You're now not taking any kind of ownership for it. Then you want to touch me? No.
And like, just move past this and be like, bro, we're friends. Don't do me like this. No, we're not on that level. Schwartz always does this. He like goes in, digs at you, and then wants to just like smooth it over and act like nothing happened. He does this with Katie all the time. This would piss me off if people did this to me.
Then he's like, come on, Allie, back me up. And Allie just is like, no. And then James, you know what? I know that Allie didn't like that James said this, and I think he used the wrong words because James is like, I'm putting up boundaries between you and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But what he really should have said is like, this is an issue between you and me.
This is
Do
inappropriate.
not bring my girlfriend
Yeah.
into this.
Yeah.
But because it was inappropriate for Schwartz to be like, Allie, have my back on this.
Like, you don't go
Fuck
to his
you.
partner to like get her on your side of the argument. No matter what the
awful.
argument is, you don't take the person's partner and do that.
Yeah. So then James, of course, well, Schwartz says something like, it wasn't that serious. What does he say? It was like facetious or something. What does he say? He says a big word and then James repeats it and then is like,
I don't remember, but it wasn't
his big stupid words.
Yeah, he does. We talked about this last episode, didn't we? Where we were like, Schwartz uses like these big words to try and like confuse people.
They're meant to be condescending and throw you off.
Yeah.
So then when you don't know what it means, and he's also just coming at you like condescendingly, like, here's my big word, fuck you. And I like how James says it in the wrong way, but just says it back to him and says like, you're that, fuck you. And I was like, good for you.
God, I fucking want to just punch Schwartz in the face.
I think James handled himself really well. I do think
so well.
We talked about, does James have a right to be upset?
I think a little bit. I think in this type of conversation with Schwartz specifically, I think he's like, yeah, I think so.
I think James has a right to be upset in the sense that it's in his friend group, and he technically can't be like mad at Raquel or Schwartz, but he can be upset at the situation.
Yeah.
But I think this whole conversation, he could be mad at Schwartz.
He's like the right level of mad too. Like Katie has more reasons to be even more mad. She's really put out those boundaries with people, and people have told her it'll never happen. Whereas James has just been like, this is weird. I don't like this. And it's a pretty chill
Don't pretend we're friends. Yeah, you're not gonna like hook up with my ex and do that. Okay, so now we go to my least favorite part of the episode, and that's Villa Rosa, and Greg's here because Lisa has to like talk to Greg about this.
I hate this
because we gotta baby these men. But I do want to say, like, Lisa, where do you work out? Because your ass is fat.
Oh,
it is the best ass I've seen on her.
I wonder if it's genetics.
Is it genetic? Did she get work done? Has she been working out? I don't know, but her ass looks fan-fucking-tastic. Okay.
Man.
So let's zoom through this because this was stupid. So
Agreed.
Lisa's like, hey Greg, are you gonna open on the 31st? And Greg's like, no, because we still have drink menus.
He lists like 6 things, and I was like, oh, I mean, I thought Greg was kind of a problem too, but nope, this makes no sense.
Can we go back to Blue Shark drink? It's not a drink name.
Greg's like, we need really basic things to open, and we don't have those.
There's no procedures, no training, no bar Bible. Greg basically thought he was hired to like explain the business, but they don't listen to him.
Which I can see.
Lisa's like, yeah, but they're not like meant to be restaurant owners. They're meant to bring the fun. And to that I say, fuck you. If they're owning this much % of a restaurant, they need to be fucking owners.
Yeah, like step up and take responsibility of your percentage. When you own 5% of TomTom, you can bring the fun.
Yeah, Lisa's like, that's why we partnered with them. And I was like, you barely gave them a leg to stand on.
It's like telling a dad in a parental relationship, they're like, oh, you're just here to babysit. No, you're a 50-50 parent here. Take responsibility.
So Lisa says she will personally pick their asses up and hope they get it done. To which I felt like Greg. I was like, why does this British lady need to whip these men into shape? They're 40. They're 40. So Lisa's like, I'll only do that if you promise to open up on the 31st. And Craig's like, no, I can't promise.
So happy he said no.
What the fuck? And then Lisa's like, no, you got to promise me. And Greg's like, you're really asking for something I cannot promise, because Greg's name is on this too. Why the fuck would he put something out there that's not ready?
Especially like kind of really important things like a drink menu.
I can't.
Pricing.
You know, for once, I was literally watching this going, I'm gonna block Lisa. I fucking hate her in this episode. I'm so mad.
I'm so annoyed. She takes all responsibility off of these stupid little boys.
These 2 white men that are 40. Okay.
Insane.
Let's go back to Mexico. Okay, so we're in Tom and Ariana's room. Schwartz shows up. Sandoval's still sleeping. He brings Sandoval a pina colada. Sandoval will not wake up, but then Schwartz gets him up. Schwartz says he had a weird dream that he was making out with Raquel. What a nerd. What a
again,
loser.
why are we pushing this off like it didn't happen? Just
it was
own
just
it.
A dream.
At
Fuck
this point, own your
you.
stupid mistake.
Literally, fuck you. So now we're at Scheana and Brock's room. So Lala's here. I just want to say, listen, all bodies are beautiful. But how does Lala give birth and have abs?
Banging.
What the
I would
fuck?
never, no matter what my body looked like, I would never feel comfortable sitting in a swimsuit, just sitting on a bed like this.
With abs. Like what?
Incredible.
What
Hats off to her.
Holy shit. Okay, so there's another dinner tonight. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of dinners.
I know.
Lala's not coming. Lala can't. And Scheana's like, what the fuck? Why? You weren't at the last dinner either. and the dinner before that, you brought Christina Kelly. There has not been one good dinner for Lala yet.
No. Lala has not shown her support yet.
So Lala's basically like, my life is intense. I need to surround myself with women that build each other up. And Raquel's not that kind of girl. Raquel's the kind of girl that would have hooked up with Randall, which, okay, I do want to say this. I understand that Lala is triggered. I do think situations are different. Mm-hmm. And also, Randall is more to blame than the women. Like 100%. I understand these women shouldn't have done that. Also, though, if I didn't watch this show, I would have no fucking idea who Randall was.
However, the read Lala has here for the future
She's right.
Insane.
In sense of Scandival, she's correct. In sense of this, I was like, I'm trying to separate it.
And what's difficult is like, I understand her saying like, I want to be around women who like build each other up. Like clearly after the kiss, like yes. I see what she's saying. But like, this is Scheana's wedding. At a certain point, this is a large enough event that you need to be able to be in the same room for Scheana.
Yeah, like just for the next 3 days, just put it aside.
Yeah, like if it was the spa day, I think she would be like, yeah, I totally understand why you're not coming to this.
Yeah.
But like my welcome dinner,
yeah,
come on.
Do what James and Allie do, right? They eat hibachi and then fucking dip.
They sit for a minute and then they go hang out with their people.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, but she does read Raquel pretty hard and says that this is the kind of girl that doesn't think about anyone else but her insecure self.
Oh, Lala is just so on point this episode.
So Scheana basically says what we say. It's my wedding. But she honestly, if this was Stassi, it'd be like, it's my fucking birthday. But Scheana's very calm. She's like, it's my wedding. Like, please. Yeah. And so Lala's like, yeah, it's your wedding, but people have other shit happening that's more important than your wedding. And I was like, I get it.
Rude. This is actually really rude because this thing, quote unquote, that is happening is not big enough. If Lala was getting calls from her lawyer, like about her custody battle, yes, there we go. There's like a valid excuse. You just not wanting to be in a 50 or 100 person party with Raquel, not a big enough excuse, especially before the kiss.
Here's my other thing. Just hear me out. And I could be wrong. Please don't come for me, whatever. In my idea, I know when a wedding's happening, right? Mm-hmm. That, or like even a bachelorette party, like I have one coming up and I don't like 50% of the people that are going to be there, but I know I'm going to go there. I'm going to put a smile on my face. I'm going to have a good ass time. And I know exactly the dates I need to do that. And the minute I get out of the house, I know I get to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like you put yourself in this mental space. Lala knew Raquel was going to be here.
Yes.
Like we know just for Shishi, just this one day.
Suck it up.
Shishi.
Exactly. When these events are happening and it's like, it's kind of like a social contract. You agree to showing up and you know what's going to be there.
Yes.
Suck it up and do it.
Yes. So she
and bitch about it to your friend on the side. Like that's what you do.
Yeah. Like leave early. Just go. Just
like I have a bachelorette literally this next weekend. And I'm like, I'm not fucking looking forward to this. I'm bitching to everyone outside of the circle that it will be at this bachelorette.
Yeah, but to the bride, you're like,
I will be the most peppy,
I'm here,
thrilled person she has ever met in her entire life.
Oh, nightmares. So Scheana's basically like, I got to get ready. You could leave now. And Lala's like, Raquel's just a shady piece of shit. And Scheana's just like, we're going to agree to disagree. And though Lala is right, it's always awkward when one of your friends is talking shit to you about your other friend and you're like, I'm not engaging with
it's
you.
her freaking wedding weekend. Why do you got to put her in the middle of the drama?
We're not engaging. Disengage.
Good job, Scheana. I will give it to you here.
So Tom and Ariana's room is next. Lisa's calling the Toms.
Oh my god.
Sandoval looks like absolute fucking trash. This man,
he probably was up too late screwing Raquel.
He should not have any kind of pussy. This man sucks. Okay, so Lisa tells them that Greg was at her house and Greg doesn't want to open on the 31st because there's no drink menu. And Sandoval's like, we sent one 3 days ago. I was like, I weirdly believe Greg, believe it or not.
I feel like I believe Greg. I feel like maybe they talked to that manager guy about it, but nothing actually is official.
I feel like they didn't give I feel like they just wrote out what the drink is, but they didn't give the glass price and the actual ingredient prices, or like
a training manual on how to train the bar staff while they're gone. Like,
they were just like vodka soda, but make it blue with sharks. Done. And you're like, what do I do?
They like named the drinks and they're like, we're done.
They're done. Okay, so Sandoval says he's like really getting heated for no fucking reason, but he says he was really looking forward to making decisions without Lisa. But now Greg fucking went to Lisa, and that defeats the whole purpose. And I was like, no, your British babysitter went to your dad.
It's trying to save the day for you.
Literally. So Lisa's basically
also, Greg wasn't the one who ran to Lisa. So like, let's give Greg a little credit here. He was invited.
Let's support Greg. Let's believe Greg.
I'm on Greg's side.
I am too. I'm big team Greg.
I was anti-Greg there for a little bit, but I'm back on Greg's side.
I'm on Greg's side. Okay, so now it's dinner time. Raquel and Schwartz do an awkward high five. And then the seating chart happens. So it's Ariana's next to what looks like Scheana. So then there's a corner. Then it's Sandoval, Schwartz, Raquel. And then we find out James and Allie are coming and they would sit next to Raquel and Allie. So Schwartz and Raquel switch. So now it's Sandoval, Raquel, Schwartz, James, Allie.
Terrible seating arrangement for all the reasons. Both
Scheana should be fired. Scheana should be fired. Why did we? I mean, I know it's the producers, but this is awful.
No, Scheana and Brock were directing people. I really think
Ariana Bravo was like, we need everyone on this side.
No, I think they told like Vanderpump crew like, hey, sit over here. But no, I don't think they're like, you sit here, you sit here. I think Ariana and Raquel should have swapped.
There should have been something. Okay, so then we cut to the girls grabbing drinks. Lala, Katie, Christina, Kelly. They're in the hotel bar.
I didn't realize this until Allie walked out.
I didn't either. So they're very close.
I thought like later Allie like says she's gonna see them. I thought she was lying.
Yeah, she's just out.
I thought she was lying.
Piecing out. Okay, so then we cut back to Scheana's dinner at Hibachi. Schwartz says he needs to have a talk with Katie because, you know, like everyone hates us, Raquel, and Raquel's like, we're public enemy #1 or whatever fucking.
I hate when people do bad things and are like, I can't believe people are mad at me.
I like can't believe
every time I do something shitty, I'm like, I'm terrified to tell people because I know they're gonna be mad at me because I fucked up.
Yeah, this is trash. So then James is like, Raquel, is there anyone in the friend group you like haven't made out with between Peter and Schwartz and whatever? And then I was like, they cut out Sandoval, but I was looking for his ass in the background. I
was thinking Raquel is probably sitting there thinking like, well, there you missed one.
Well, she goes, I'm just trying to live a little. And James is like, you're really living around the friend group. Like, it was so funny.
His comments on this, he did this with Schwartz earlier. They're like lighthearted and funny. So it doesn't look like he's super jealous or like angry. Like he's playing it very well.
Also, I always say this. He is so fast on his feet. Like Raquel took a second and was like, I'm just living. And James immediately is like, living around the friend group, huh? Like, it's just so stupid. It's so funny. And then him. James is like, look, I obviously know there's chemistry between the two of you. And Schwartz is like, there's no chemistry. And then Raquel's like, what? And I was like,
again, like,
sucks.
That is so mean. This is so similar to the like,
oh my God,
I'm sticking it to the man comment. Like, sir, why are we going around just kissing people just to kiss people? Like,
You ever think that like Katie said something one day like Schwartz have my back, we're married, and he's like, it's just a formality. Like he says something so fucking
I
stupid. Like the oh man.
And then he's gonna give us a word salad at trying to
Uh,
explain away why this wasn't rude. But like, I'm telling you, if I find out a boy I kiss says this stuff about me,
I'm
it would
so sad.
cut me to my core.
I'm so sad. Because then Schwartz is like, there's no romance, right? And Raquel's like, well, I thought we were like flirting a little. And he's like, nah, there's no chemistry. And so then Raquel's interview was like, I thought there was chemistry, even though she didn't, but like also did. But I don't know what she
I
thought.
think she thought they were like flirting a little bit, no matter
Like
like with the
flirt
Sandoval.
chemistry.
Yeah, like even if she's, doing the deed with Sandoval behind the scenes, like I don't think Raquel's someone who's just like banging people and kissing people left and right that she does isn't kind of into.
She's just upset she gets like high fives now and stuff.
That
And
is
then
awkward.
James is like, okay, well, stop making out with people in the fucking friend group. And then Raquel pulls that thing where she's like, well, you found the love of your life after 5 months of us being broken up. And James is like, I'm in love. I'm the happiest I've ever
Oh,
been. Thank God we broke up because I wasn't in love with you.
they're
I'm in love with
bickering, and
Allie.
Schwartz is just sitting there in the middle. I didn't like this is the only time I feel bad for him because there's nothing worse than two people arguing across you.
James did not stop to take a breath. I
No.
don't love you. Thank God we broke up because I love Allie way more. I've been so in love. You're not in love. I'm in love. I was like, what the
You
fuck?
can kiss Schwartz again because like clearly you're not in love while I sit over here with the love of my life. That's not you.
And Allie's like, okay.
And Allie's like, I gotta
So
go.
she's like, I'm gonna go find the girls.
I
And
really thought
James
she was lying, and I was like, this is a really good excuse. Like, you say you
James
gotta go find those girlies.
James is like, come back, please. And Allie leaving is like, I'm so over this fucking Raquel shit. Like, are we done yet?
I at first I thought her removing herself from that first dinner was not 100 like really good if she just constantly removes herself from conflict. However, I'm starting to realize, girl, go find, Christina, Katie, Lala, and like get some peace. Like you
I
deserve
think,
it.
okay, hear me out. I think her and Christina Kelly
They're
friendship,
vibing.
they got vibes,
Dude,
right? They got
she
vibes.
walks up to those girls and like they're all like pumped to see her. This is one of my
Allie.
favorite unexpected little
Yeah.
storylines.
Yes. Okay, so Allie joins the girls. Um, Allie explains like the seating chart at dinner, and then James shows up with a plate of hibachi that Allie did not eat. And
Lala takes a little bite.
takes the steak. And I remember when Lala ate Raquel's
I
pasta,
thought the same thing.
James wasn't even mad about the steak. So then they spot Sandoval at the bar, and the girls are like, "We gotta go. This dinner's ending."
Yep.
And Allie and James like randomly are coming to dinner too, which is great. I love this.
I love this change of pace. When they were like, oh, yep, we're coming. Like, let's go to the cave. I was like, this is the group we have been saying we wanted,
Dude,
from the beginning.
When I tell you I have notes all up and down this James and Katie's friendship, I'm so goddamn pumped about it. I'll get there. I'll get
Same.
there. Okay,
I was pumped.
Schwartz sees Katie and calls for her, and Lala's like, no, don't. And Schwartz like, it was just a silly thing. And Lala's like, it's really not that fucking silly, sir.
It is not a silly thing. If Katie had never spoken to them and then this happened and she was upset, I could understand. Oh, this
Fine.
was just a silly little thing.
She not only said don't hook up in the friend group, she said do not hook up with Raquel. She
Like,
said it. She said it in English.
Clear, plain, written out for you. You did the exact opposite, and you were saying you did it to stick it to her.
Can we also talk about that two of the only people on this show with college degrees are the two dumbest fucking people, Schwartz and Raquel. We know you understand fucking English because you graduated from an American university, but Jesus fucking Christ, when Katie tells you do not do something in plain English and you do that thing and still blame her for it, what
and you're
the
shocked
hell?
she's upset? Like,
what the hell is
they're
happening?
kind of like devaluing my own degrees.
Schwartz was supposed to be a doctor. Like this
Stop
man is
it.
so
No,
goddamn
he wasn't.
No, yeah. He was pre-med.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's gonna be a doctor.
He was pre-med. He was on the track.
Yeah, but if he graduated, that means he didn't graduate pre-med. He was pre-med, doesn't mean he graduated pre-med.
He graduated from college. He was pre-med.
He
didn't go to medical school.
I don't believe it.
Do it. Look it up. Okay, so then we go to the dinner. Lala, Katie, Christina, Kelly, Allie, James. This is my favorite thing. James is one
You
of the
do.
girls. He walks in Allie and Lala.
Oh,
Um,
incredible.
place is really cool. It's in a cave.
Mm-hmm.
James is still hungry, so he's gonna order some food. He also tells them how Raquel has the hots for Schwartz. And Katie goes, I want to light them on fire. And James goes, same. And this is where I said, I'm so excited for this friendship. I'm really sad about how they became friends because it sucks that they're both really hurt, specifically Katie. But like
Yes.
the silver lining is James and Katie are now a team.
Here's
Let's think
the
about where we
thing.
started.
The enemy of my enemy is
It's
my
my
friend.
friend.
So, like, I think if last season didn't happen where they laid some groundwork on not hating each other, I don't think this really would have come to this level. But you really need to hate. Like, true friendships are actually born out of hating the same thing or person.
This is it. This is the moment. We have come such a long way from James fat shaming Katie in the back of Sir to here.
Listen,
We're breaking bread, baby.
we are. We
This is
are.
it. This is the top notch. Okay. Also,
A meeting of the
hear me
minds,
out.
one would say.
I always say Katie and James, or not Lala and James, that's a lethal combination. But you add Katie to that
Oh,
mix.
this reunion.
These three are the Avengers. Like you can't.
It's about to pop off.
I also love how the seating goes like Katie, Lala, James. Like that is our top three. Like they're just ready. Okay, done. I'm done fangirling over this. So Katie's basically like, I've cried to both of them. I've told them not to hook up with each other.
Yes.
They're doing it anyway. I'm upset. Then Lala's like, yo, what should I wear to this wedding? Should I wear shorts? And I was like, no. Immediately,
like,
no.
Stop.
But she's like, the weather's hot because the Don was here. And then she tells James about Don and how she's dick combobulated, you know? Okay. So then we go to Scheana and Brock's room. Bridesmaids are hanging out. Scheana tells them that her and Brock have already been married because of his visa, obviously, was about to expire. So Scheana wanted him to stay so they could start a family. So they got married. This is their year anniversary. I did not know they were married.
Me neither. This secret was kept on lock. Great job, guys.
Ariana is shook. This woman.
Even Ariana didn't know.
Bombs are being dropped on Ariana and she does not appreciate it. So if we stop.
You know what? Ariana deserves a freaking like massage after this weekend.
Yes. But Ariana's like so proud of Scheana because Sheena's not getting married for the wedding. She's getting married for the person.
Yeah.
Ariana's so, well, she was there for Shay. We all saw that. So Ariana's very thrilled. This is different.
And I do really think it is.
I do too. So Brock's then here. The girls are leaving. Sheena's like, I'm going to contact you tomorrow. And I thought maybe we'd get the Raquel's missing from the group shit, but we didn't.
No.
So also Raquel doesn't want to walk down the aisle with Schwartz anymore because as a model / pageant girl, runway opportunities are very important to her. And Joey's a better walker than Schwartz.
This angered me so much.
It is not your day.
Girly, rate it in.
This is not a runway. This is an aisle that you walk, like think the grocery store. You would just walk.
Like, yes, I think like height should play a role in it because of just like the overall like appearance of an entire bridal party. We are not picking and choosing here. If you are not married to this person, you are not claiming anyone.
I feel bad for whoever was originally Schwartz's partner, who then got moved to Joey and was probably fucking thrilled, and now is back with Schwartz and was like,
what? Why are we bobbing and weaving with different walking partners, Raquel? Like, shut the fuck up.
So we get to Scheana and Brock's wedding. Everyone's getting ready. Sheena's popping bottles. She thinks about her first wedding where she was clearly more agitated. And I think, Shay probably wasn't the right person, but also Scheana was a lot younger. I think she's really mellowed out with the kid and like.
Well, I think like what she values in life has changed. Like as you get older, like she realizes, like I think going through the first wedding and marriage has like shown her it's not about the wedding day. It's about the partner. Like she does want, she values a lifetime partner, not a spectacular wedding day that other people will envy.
But she's getting both on this one. Usually
she really is. And I think she really learned that like if you loosen up and just roll with the punches too, like enjoy the day.
and she's happy, and she feels lucky that she gets to be this happy.
I'm so happy for her.
The worst part of this wedding is that Brock and his groomsmen take the shot, pour it in their shoes, and then take the shot from the boot.
Alicia,
This
you
is
know
a
what this
college
reminded me
thing.
of?
What?
Bush Family Brood, when we watched that for
Awful.
one season wonders.
Awful.
The shoey with what's that guy's name? The family friend.
The friend.
He did that in like their house.
I hated it. This is so gross to me. Okay, so Scheana, she got a lot of shit for her crop top dress. I think some of that shit came from us, but I tried to support it. But now she's gonna be more elegant, more like a little sexy.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
She looks so good.
Her hair, the dress, the everything.
Oh,
like, this is timeless.
Yeah, we get a Peter sighting, and then we cut to Christina, Kelly, and Katie's room, and they're in robes, and Christina's like, "Oh man, we're like so close to the wedding." And Katie's like, "Yeah, but I know Schwartz and Raquel are gonna sit next to each other." And Christina's like, "I'm just gonna go up to the balcony and look."
Like, I need to look.
Katie goes too. Then we have the wedding. Schwartz and Raquel do not walk down together. We have Summer Moon running down the aisle.
She was a little scared of that glass walkway.
The see-through walkway over
I was scared
water.
for her.
I was too. I'm happy she didn't cry. She seems like a chill kid.
Yeah.
Okay, I was really happy for Scheana. I was smiling this whole time. I had tears when they did their vows. And I liked
that Katie and Christina were like saying nice or neutral things.
I super gave a lot of props to Christina Kelly, who was like, "This is beautiful. This is gorgeous. I love this." Katie just didn't shit on it, which I think was enough.
It is positive. Yeah.
We asked for enough. So Brock cries when he sees Scheana. Scheana's veil, of course, is like in the wind, and she's like, "It's no big deal. I'm chill bride. I'll just take it off."
Which I actually think was incredible. I think she looked way prettier without the veil standing up there.
They did their vows. It was just so cute, and then they kissed, and now they're married, and Ariana's face is just so happy for them, and I teared up a little bit because
I like stock typing. I just watched it
too.
And enjoyed it.
Like, oh, and their kid is so cute.
Adorable.
I want them to have 7. Okay, so then Christina Kelly's like, "Yo, if we go out to dinner, I only have one thing to wear, and it's white." Rough.
I think she's been avoiding wearing this dress because every night was a white night for that crew.
Okay, so now it's the wedding, like the reception, or it's the happy hour, like cocktail hour. Lala, James, and Allie talk about how stunning the wedding was. Allie's getting wedding fever. James wants to get married, and Lala's like, "Yo, you're into like a Palm Beach springy thing, right?" And James is like, "Not anymore." And he's like, "What a shady ass comment. That was my Raquel theme. I'm with Allie now." And I was like, Lala, Jesus hell.
I think Lala doesn't realize, like, just shut the fuck up on anything James used to think around weddings and anything. Like, it's just a minefield.
I know. James in his interview was like, "What a stupid question."
If my friend had thought about a wedding, got engaged, broke it off, and was in this situation, I would just never repeat anything I'd ever heard, because I would be worried. Like, you don't want to remind them, whether they still want it or not, you don't want to remind them of their ex-partner or the new, like, you don't want to remind Allie of the ex-partner either. It's just awkward.
Also in front of Allie. It was just not great.
No.
Okay, so Schwartz and Raquel walk off to the pool. Schwartz got in trouble. We see like the text. I didn't write them all. It basically was like,
either.
"I never want to see you again. You're trash.
I hate you."
And so Raquel's like, "We're not a couple. Like, whatever. Hope you don't."
Now we're downplaying that. Like, I don't like that Raquel like changes her feelings on, "Oh, I thought there would be something," and then it's like, we're not a couple.
Also, she says, "Hope you don't have hard feelings that we didn't walk down together."
Oh my God.
So Schwartz is like, whatever. And then he's like, "I'm still freaking out about Katie. I want to meet up with her. Like, nice making out with you." And I'm like, guess it wasn't a fucking love connection after all.
I just want to punch him like 700 times during this episode.
So back to Scheana's, what's it called? Reception. Scheana and Brock come in. I want to give a shout out to Peter. He's fucking pumped, man. He's like, "Yes, Scheana, Brock." He like lost his mind in the crowd. First dance is really cute. They like rip some of the dress off. It's whatever. It's very Scheana. Yeah. And then he fucking lifts her up like Dirty Dancing style.
Which I'd seen that when the wedding actually happened. But it was It was cool. They had like some really
so
special
cute.
moments.
Summer Moon joins them. Very cute. It's all cute. And then we cut to Christina Kelly and Katie's dinner. They check their phone to see if like Lala's texted, and they're like, guess she's having fun. And I was like,
I kind of get it because it's like Lala's been with them the whole time that they're like, I wonder if oh no, I guess she's enjoying her time now.
She shouldn't have been with you.
No. And she needs to spend the time at the wedding.
Yeah. So Christina asked Katie, like, if you knew what was going to come of this trip, would you still have come? And Katie says no. And then Schwartz shows up, and I'm like, oh no. And first he says he fucking creeped to find them. Then he sits down and eats their sushi.
Like, quickly just takes the sushi and pops it in. And I was like, sir.
I'd be like, you should Venmo me $5 for
this
that piece of sushi.
Even if you are like coming in friendly, like we are friends, I don't like people touching my food. Really bothers me. How rude. But sir, you are not welcome to even sit at this table. What makes you think you can just grab one of those little sushi rolls?
You're my ex-husband who was doing exactly what I told you not to do. Do not eat my sushi.
Do not even be in my presence to even sniff my sushi.
So he's like, hey, Katie, I don't want like this weird tension. And Katie's like, we're past that. We're at the point of no return. What are you talking about? And Schwartz is like, I didn't realize that this mattered a lot. And Katie gets so mad. She's like, it's already what we said, but she told him.
Yes.
She's like, are you fucking serious? And he's like, I was just caught up in the moment. I didn't know people are watching. And this is where Christina's like, how did you not know people were fucking watching?
You were at a public event.
You're there. And then Katie's like, listen, we're done. We don't have a friendship. We have nothing. We are nothing. And she says she has hatred for him. And Schwartz goes, that sucks for you. It sucks that you hold on to toxicity.
Oh my God. And he's like, I don't care. Like, I'm not hurt. Like, I don't really care about this. I'm not tethered to you anymore.
I don't even care. I'm not hurt. I'm so disconnected. And Katie goes, get the fuck out of here. I think you're pathetic. You're drunk and you're a loser. And I was like, good for you. That's not even enough.
Depending on how Katie responds, he's either like apologetic or not. Like at one point he's so sorry, and then he's like, I don't really care. Like, I don't care what you think, what you have to say. Da, 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 da.
I bet if she started crying, he would have apologized, because that's the only time. No, he would have softened his tone because he doesn't apologize.
No.
Whatever. So Christina Kelly tells him to get the fuck out of here. So then we go back to Scheana's wedding. We're having fun, whatever. Schwartz realizes it's not healthy to hang out after a divorce. I've been saying that, but like, fuck you.
I agree, but that still doesn't change that you shouldn't have done the kiss also.
Yeah. So then Raquel wants to talk to Lala. Raquel says she feels bad about the Mistress Bimbo comment. And Lala's like, yeah, I'm confused. I thought we had a really good moment in Vegas and like in the car when you had your panic attack. And Raquel's like, well, I'm confused why you were bullying me about my galaxy lights and stuff. And Lala's like, I think you misjudged that, huh?
Yeah, like we weren't judging you. Yeah. I see how Raquel felt.
I do too.
The pressure, but I understand Lala being like, listen, we weren't judging you. Like, you were messy. You were like, but we were in Vegas. We understood. It was just a lot.
Yeah, Raquel feels like she was attacked. And then she says that Lala's gaslighting her.
And that word has really gotten out of control in the world.
And the girl should take up a hobby and not talk about her. And Lala's like, guess what? Fuck you. Okay. And you better be aware of everything. And Raquel's like, it wasn't that bad. I like could have done worse than hook up with Schwartz. And I was like, holy shit. She just Sandoval is all I thought about. I was
like, I have done some shady, like, things I shouldn't, and I knew going into it I shouldn't, but never would I look someone in the face and say, could have done worse.
That's because you did probably like 15 minutes ago.
Girly.
Rough. So Lala's like, you know what? You get your self-worth from a man, and I have a feeling you're gonna have a mental breakdown soon. And I was like,
you're gonna need love and support. I was like, Lala, how did you know? How did you know?
I'm so scared of Lala. Okay, so Lala walks away. Then we go to the club with Katie and Christina Kelly. There's like 5 whole people fucking here, and there are 2 of them. So also, we learned that the guy that married Scheana and Brock is the same dude that married Scheana and
Hilarious.
That's so funny. Okay, so Christina Kelly's basically like, what's next? And Katie's like, I'm next. She's going to speed up the healing process. Also,
Mhm.
she's been hanging out with a dude, okay? Cute boy. He's 25, but he has emotional intelligence. And she's a puma. But then she brings up a good point that why do we only call women this? What about men that date? Yeah, fuck you. Katie, date whoever you fucking want. Hell
I'm
yeah.
happy she's just doing what works for her. I think it was really nice of her to not bring him around and be considerate of Schwartz's feeling, but fuck Schwartz, bring him around.
Yeah, Katie's gonna do what she has to do. She's not concerned about him. So that's the end. We do get a next time on, thank God. Katie brings her man around and they both have great eyebrows. Schwartz and Sandy's is not opening and Sandoval's fucking losing his goddamn mind. Lala's birthday is coming up. She doesn't invite Schwartz, Raquel, and Charlie. Raquel's going on a date with Oliver. Then we see Garcelle. Then we find out Raquel gets a DM that Oliver is not separated from his wife. So you know what she is? She is a mistress.
I want to know, is that before or after the dinner? That's going to change things for me.
Fuck you, Oliver. These men are trash. This is why Peter does not associate.
They are. They are.
Okay, should we do accepted and blocked? Or wait, yeah, do accepted and blocked, and then we have one comment from the episode.
Okay, I'm blocking Schwartz. I'm not even gonna talk about it.
I kind of do too. That's it.
Yeah.
That's, you know what? No, just for fuck's sake, I'll block Raquel because fuck you. Okay. I'm accepting Scheana. It's her wedding.
I am too. I've been saving it. I keep saying I'm gonna give it to her.
It was so cute.
I loved it. I loved it. Cute. I feel really bad for her with the Lala stuff. Lala really should have shown up, but I think she really handled it well. She rolled with all the punches and enjoyed her day.
I'm so happy for her. Okay, Tracy for Podcast by the People. She left us a comment.
Okay.
She said, I love James putting Tom in his place. He has no right to come over to James and talk about how Tom made out with his ex-fiance. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Why would that be the person you're like?
That's where I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. So then Greg looks like he has aged 15 years since last time we saw him on screen. Oh my God. Poor baby Greg. I also think I would hate Rachel even if Scandal didn't happen. It's just cruel the way they talk about having her walk down the aisles with Schwartz. Also, Schwartz should be thanking Sandoval for taking over the villain role because he looked like a total piece of shit. I think he should be stuck in between bickering James and Raquel forever. Honestly, that was his punishment. Don't even feel bad.
No, I'm just saying like that. It sucks to be that person.
Good.
I've been that person.
Deserves it.
Yeah,
that
he does.
So fucking funny.
That's true though. Like Schwartz was saved.
Yeah, because he looked like a real piece of shit in this episode. Whether Scandal happened or not, he was a piece of shit.
I can't imagine watching this without Scandal hanging over my head.
Listen, I'm 110% sure we are not really going to get into what happened this episode. No. 99% of the reunion will be Scandal.
Agreed.
So Schwartz doesn't even have to answer for this shit.
I'm glad on this side we're all waking up to what a piece of shit Schwartz really is and all the terribleness of it, the nuances of his terribleness.
Yeah, fuck him. He was horrible on Watch What Happens Live. He's a horrible person. He literally is just infuriating. Katie still talks to him though.
But I bet she has him in like a certain
she has him in like a
box that's sitting over there.
Yes. Okay, thank you everyone for listening. Next episode will also be a quick one right after the episode we're just gonna watch and record. But stick with us. Please leave us a review that's like we got 2 bad ones.
We got a really heartwarming DM that saved our week actually.
Yes, we're really happy. Listen, we question this podcast a lot actually, but like that all goes out the window when someone says that they've been struggling and our podcast like helped them get to a happier, better
for
place.
Them. And
if we can have you escape the reality of life and we can talk about the reality of these idiots, we are more than happy to do that.
Hell yeah. I mean, we do it for each other, for everyone. Like, I love this community.
We actually don't have our own lives. We fully live in Bravo.
I was just telling Alicia today, she is the person I talk to the most. She's the most up to date on my life. And thank God, because of this podcast.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. Keep listening. Do all the things.
Thanks, guys. Bye.